Welcome to EGH British Cars. So it's a nice sunny day in California, though it's been a bit windy. So I'm just wanted to give you a status update on the TR2, show you what I've been doing. So let's take a look. Since the last video, we've gotten the other floor cut out. This side was not as bad, so the drive shaft tunnel is much better shape, along with the rear portions of the floor. I did have to cut out one section right here. So I've done that. And I need to rebuild the bottoms of the A and the build post pillars. For that piece I cut out, I made up this. Now this is obviously just a piece of sheet metal. Came out of that big shiny sheet. But it needed this flange and it needs to be curved. So I had bought a stretcher shrinker set up from Harbor Freight a little while ago, which you may have noticed in the background of some of the other videos. And I used it on that corner there, but when I did it, and it was the first thing I'd ever done, I cracked this edge where it stretched. So this time here, I heated it with a MAP gas, M-A-P gas. It's like propane but hotter. And that made this a lot easier to work, and just slowly worked my way around. And I did get one small crack here, but the rest of it stretched and it bent around pretty nicely. So this is going to fit in there well. And I'm hoping, if the wind has died down finally, because it was very windy this morning. We had 60-mile-an-hour gusts last night. I'm hoping I'll get a chance. That's going to go right in there. And I had big weld that in. So we got that done. I've been playing around with some different kinds of sealant for rust. This is a damp red primer, but it's not Rust-Oleum. I really like the Rust-Oleum, but the store I was at didn't have any, so I bought a different brand. So we'll see how that holds up. So there's a new piece of tin, all welded in, ground off a little bit. Fits pretty nice, don't you think? Oh, there it is, all cleaned up. Got a coat of red damp-proof primer on it. It's my new piece all in. Straightened out this edge. Looks pretty good. So the next piece will be work on this. You can see it looks pretty bad. So this is the B column, and at least this half of it's pretty good. So, and this is the notch where the rail goes in. So I'll get something there to give me an indication to build that up. And back here, I'm going to need to, this is all frilly, and this is this area right here. This area right here is where that rail spot welds in, so we got to get good sheet metal in there. We have to do the same thing on the other side. And then this is the A column. You can see the tang is gone on this one, along with that edge. But this is all pretty solid right here, so that's good. And then this panel's all pretty good. It's a little flaky right here. I'll probably put a piece in here, then a dog leg up. And then that's routed away right there. But this is pretty solid, so I can probably come across here and then dog leg up onto that one too. And that's the other side all put together. It's a lot better than it did 2 months ago, huh? So I thought I'd run through this with you just a little bit. We're going to need to cut off this bad section of metal here. So first thing I did is take a piece of cardboard and get the rough shape. Now also, because there's two sides and this is missing so much, I looked this side and I flipped it over and checked the other side and found something close to what I wanted. And then I cut this out. And I generally tend to cut slightly oversized, and particularly areas that I'm not sure about, because that way it's a lot easier just to grind a little bit off of my new piece of sheet metal. From there, I went to this piece of sheet metal, traced the design onto the metal, cut it out, my power shears, which are actually pretty nice. They I get these at, I think this is Harbor Freight. These are not very expensive. I think I saw them the other day. They're about 20 bucks. Really pretty nice. You can cut straight line, obviously. You can cut a slight arc. You're not going to cut a really tight circle with these. But, you know, for the price, well worth it. Probably wouldn't hold up to, you know, everyday use, but for occasional use, they're fine. I added these 2 set screws because this head, which is designed to be able to rotate around this body, was just, I couldn't get it tight enough to stay still. Anyway. So from there, I cut out this piece of tin, and then I put it up into the quarter. And I bent this a little bit to start with. The hydraulic cylinders there, I just sort of pushed against them to get it started. Put it up here, hammered a bit more to get it in tighter. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I scribed a line here. I put a 45-degree bend in it here, and that's pretty close to being right. I may adjust that a bit. And then once I got this cut out, I decided how it fits in here, and then I've scribed a line here. So now I'm going to have to cut this out. And unfortunately, I wasn't thinking yesterday. This new piece I put in there, I tacked it on to the edge of this piece of tin, so I'm going to have to undo that weld, but that's not that big a deal. And then I also need to separate this dog leg from the inner fender. Now the dog leg is coming off eventually anyhow because we got a new one, but I want to keep it there for now just as a reference to where I'm putting the new stuff. And we're also going to need to put a cage nut in here, but we'll do that before we weld it up. So I've just been taking my time fitting the new piece in. You know, grinding a little bit here, trimming there. And I've got it held up so this corner's in the spot I want it to be in. And I also wanted to make sure that that line is coming down the way that I want it. And I'm following the old dog leg here. And I think we're close enough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the welder. I'm going to stabilize this corner, and then we can work this edge in. So you can see it's sticking out about maybe 3/16 there, and then this end is just kind of wild. But just a little bit at a time. So we'll go get the welder and tack that up. So I've got that fitted in now. I started here with this first little weld. And once that was there, I'm just using my hammer, just slightly moving it to get it all lined up, and I just tacked my way across. And here, I wound up with a little triangle short, so I just welded a little bit in. So I gotta go back now and finish welding that up nice and tight, and then we'll just grind it off. This piece has to be really secure because on the back side of this area right here is where this rail comes through, and it's spot welded to that. So it's a lot of the strength of the body is right there. And here it is, all welded in, ground off smooth. I'm going to put a coat of paint on it in just a second. Here's the inside. It's all nice and firm, and these 2 pieces are welded together, which with these pieces done like this really makes this very, very firm. And then after I get the dog leg off, we're probably going to wind up replacing a little bit of this flange. So we'll weld all that together after we get this off. This is coming off. I have a brand new one for it, just like the other side. This is just, it's so messed up down here on the bottom, and it's compound curves, and it was just simpler to get another one. Anyway, so I'm going to put a little coat of paint on this, and I think that'll be it for today. There it is, all nice and painted. Surprising what a quick coat of paint will do for looks. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and join, and we'll see you next time.